Hello everyone. As we all know, the English language, based on its regional varieties, reflects both global and local adoption. This language is spoken by a lot of people all around the world, and numerous varieties have been created. British, American, Australian, Canadian, and other regional Englishes hold cultural and socioeconomic significance within their areas. These varieties contribute to English's global dominance while showcasing regional identities. However, this also leads to linguistic hierarchy, where certain varieties like American or British English are often more prestigious or global influencing. More specifically, the English language began as a Germanic language with Anglophone speakers. The namesake of the language is the Angles, one of the ancient Germanic people that migrated to the island of Great Britain. It also holds immense global power, rooted in historical colonization and bolstered by economic, political, and cultural dominance. Moreover, it is the primary language of international business, diplomacy, media, and especially internet, making it a crucial tool for global communication and connectivity. This dominance shapes cultural and educational norms worldwide, making the ideology of English a prestigious and essential language that influence global interactions and cultural exchanges. Last but not least, the English language now is a lingua franca and enables access to a vast array of cultural, scientific, and educational resources, promoting also global understanding and education.
The English language has emerged and united people from diverse cultures and backgrounds. Currently, English is the primary language of international business, science, economics, and diplomacy. In the education sector, English has become a lingua franca and is the key to personal and educational growth. English has a global power and has the ability to innovate and inspire all the sectors in order to make them more powerful and reachable to everyone. The English language influences and shapes the ideological dimensions, norms globally. It often reflects the history of Western countries and their influence. Because English is globally used, it spreads the values and beliefs of English-speaking nations, and sometimes this has a negative impact on other languages and cultures. This can lead to one-sided view of the world. In general, the English language is a very important tool for cultural domination and homogenization. Finally, experienced English speakers can benefit more easily to the social-economical department since English, as we said, has become the lingua franca in many sectors.
As far as other regional varieties in English are concerned, British and American English are the most popular ones. They have distinct differences in grammar, spelling, pronunciation, and vocabulary. However, it is the same language. There are a lot of examples of their differences. First of all, the words color, flavor, and honor have different spelling in British than American English, as you can see. Moreover, they have different words for the same item. For example, British people call it a lorry, while Americans call it a truck. Not to mention that an apartment is called a flat in British English. Last but not least, British and Americans pronounce words in a different way. For example, aluminum and aluminium. English has evolutioned in the United States and in the United Kingdom as well. So that is why we have all these differences, which are a result of this evolution. Another fact about these two dialects is that British English is thought to be more prestigious than American English. Due to Britain's history and culture, British is seen as more formal and correct, so most of the time students at school get taught British English. In media and in international relations, both American and British English are accepted. American English, though, is more common in business and technology because of its huge influence globally. American English is seen as more modern and accessible since the majority of people who are involved in media are in the US. Apart from British and American English, there are some other dialects such as Canadian English, which is a combination of American and British English, South African English, which was influenced by British, Afrikaans, and indigenous languages, Caribbean English, New Zealand English, and lastly, Indian English. These dialects sometimes have their own grammatical rules. Each of them is a legitimate expression of the communities that speak them. It is a reminder of the language's adaptability and it shows the importance of linguistic inclusivity. Canadian English has British pronunciation but is closer to American grammar. Indian English, on the other hand, often follows British spelling and grammar, but it has a handful of distinctive phrases, such as prepone as the opposite of postpone.
Identity and ideology. Many of the non-standardized forms of English are presented as forms and revolutionary to the English language, and as a result are considered subordinate to the official spoken language. However, through this way, the history of people, the morals, customs, and even cultural perceptions that cannot be perceived otherwise are highlighted. The various forms of English are considered a symbol of differentiation from the original language, as they have a wealth of words, expressions, and idioms that are not included in the official English language. Nevertheless, all these varieties of the English language help its nation to highlight its cultural perceptions, its way of thinking, but also many of its traditions, which could not be highlighted in a different way if there were no different dialects. Many of the regional varieties of the English language are considered indicators of a person's origin, heritage, and social identity, as well as cultural diversity and heritage. So, challenges and contestations. The threat to indigenous languages and to local dialects extends to socioeconomic and cultural dimensions as it affects the individual and the whole in general. There is socioeconomic inequality because inexperienced English speakers are not able to have the same professional opportunities as more experienced speakers, and it keeps them lower in the professional ranks. This automatically leads to economic inequality because they do not have the same job options compared to the most skilled speakers. This is because fluency in English is often a prerequisite for higher paying jobs and advanced educational opportunities. Then there is social marginalization, as communities that speak predominantly indigenous languages may become marginalized with reduced political influence and social recognition. This automatically leads to the disappearance of people's tradition and cultural heritage, including traditional practices, oral histories, and community knowledge passed down through generations. In conclusion, respecting cultural identities and linguistic equity is essential for fostering a truly inclusive global society. Promoting a diverse and fair global language environment ensures that all voices are heard and valued, regardless of their linguistic background. Recognizing the variety within English dialects further underscores the importance of embracing linguistic diversity, paving the way for more equitable communication and mutual understanding across cultures. Together, these principles help build a world where diversity is celebrated and everyone has an equal opportunity to participate and thrive. Thank you for your attention.